But then Islam rose. In just a century, the Islamic world stretched from Spain to Persia, and nearly every Jew on earth lived under its rule. What followed was nothing short of a miracle. What if I told you that the survival of Judaism and the flourishing of Jewish culture owes a massive debt to Islam? An unpopular opinion? Maybe, but history tells a different story. In a world that often sees conflict between religions, it's easy to forget the deep, rich, and sometimes surprising threads that connect them. Today, we're diving into one of those stories, a tale few know, and even fewer talk about. Stay with us. This isn't just a lesson in history, it's a lesson in survival, resilience, and cultural rebirth. When the Prophet Muhammad was born in 570 CE, Judaism wasn't just struggling, it was dying. Under the shadow of the Christian Roman Empire, Jews were being converted, willingly or not, stripped of rights, and slowly erased from the map. The empire that once tolerated them now passed law after law. No citizenship, no religious freedom, no access to their sacred languages. Hebrew and Aramaic faded along with hope. And to make matters worse, the Christian world was at war with Persia, cutting off Jewish communities in the east from those in the west. Without unity, without language, without access to their own texts, Judaism was poised to disappear. But then Islam rose. In just a century, the Islamic world stretched from Spain to Persia, and nearly every Jew on earth lived under its rule. What followed was nothing short of a miracle. No, they weren't equals to Muslims. They were second-class citizens, but that status came with protection, legal recognition, and something far more valuable, opportunity. In Visigothic Spain, Jews were enslaved and their children taken. In Islamic Spain, there were poets, scholars, and diplomats. Suddenly, Babylon and Cordoba were in the same world. Jews could travel, trade, write, and thrive. Arabic became their new language, not out of oppression, but out of integration. And with it came access to science, philosophy, and art. They didn't just preserve their culture, they elevated it. Hebrew was reborn as a language of poetry. Jewish thought fused with Greek philosophy and Islamic science. The result? A cultural explosion. From Baghdad to Cairo, Kairouan to Granada, the Jewish Golden Age wasn't a footnote. It was a renaissance. Nothing lasts forever. By the 1300s, Arabic culture began to decline, and with it, the Jewish flourishing it had nurtured. But something beautiful had already happened. Seeds had been planted, seeds that would bloom later, in Christian Spain, in Europe, and beyond. The legacy of Jewish life under Islam didn't end. It evolved. It became part of the foundation for the Jewish Enlightenment and for modern Jewish thought. History isn't always what we expect. Sometimes, the very people we see as the other were once our saviors. Islam didn't just coexist with Judaism. It gave it room to breathe, to grow, to shine. So, the next time someone tells you that religions have only ever clashed, remind them of this. There was a time when Islam saved Jewry, and the world is richer because of it.